Bradford Council will be stripped of its control of its children's and social care services, which will be placed in the hands of an independent board. This follows the catalogue of failures that led to the murder of 16-month-old Star Hobson. Star Hobson, of course, was murdered in September 2020 by her evil monster of a stepmom, Savannah Brockhill, who was jailed for a minimum of 25 years, and she was aided by Star's mum, Frankie Smith, who received a pitiful sentence of 8 years for assisting in the murder. The specificities of the case are too harrowing to repeat in detail, but essentially, Star bled to death after suffering catastrophic injuries following a long campaign of abuse at the hands of her parents. The criminal trial heard how on at least 5 occasions, concerned family members and friends had contacted social services to report that abuse, but ultimately, the local authority failed in their duty. The social service responds in this case and the eerily similar and equally tragic case of Arthur Lavinia Hughes, who was also tortured and murdered by his parents in the same year, will now be subject to a national review. Now, the chronicle of problems facing social services in this country is staggering, but not new, unfortunately. A whistleblower talking to the BBC said that Bradford Council Children's Services was burdened with unmanageable workloads and that senior colleagues, quote, just wanted to cover up failings. Staff, the whistleblower said, were, quote, overworked, undertrained, unsupported and voiceless. Words, I have no doubt, would be echoed by many people working in social services across the country. And when the price of these failings is children ending up dead at the hands of inept parents, then that is not and will never be a price worth paying. Out of the 12 million children living in England, around 400,000 are in the social care system at any one time. Now, that might be only about 3%, but that's a significant number nonetheless, and more than 80,000 of these are in care, according to the latest figures. And a further near 200,000 children are thought to be on the edge of needing social services to intervene in their lives. And to make matters worse, the latest inspections of local authorities' children's services found 50% of them to either be requiring improvement or being rated inadequate altogether. That's far too many. It's 2022 in the United Kingdom, for goodness sakes, and one of the richest societies there ever was. How can we be failing the most vulnerable children so fundamentally? Cases like Star Hobson and Arthur Lavinia Hughes have brought this issue into the spotlight in tragic circumstances. It's provided for a moment of reflection and a window of opportunity for those in power to finally do something. But you don't have to have a very good memory to remember the case of Victoria Columbia, tortured and killed by her aunt and her boyfriend in 2000. This prompted a huge public inquiry into child protection. And then a few years later, in 2007, the case of Baby P, who was also tortured and killed by his mother and her boyfriend, again prompted 3 inquiries and a nationwide review of social services. So, excuse me if I'm incredibly sceptical about the impact yet another review into social services will actually have. It seems to me that the whole things need completely rethinking, the whole thing, the social service system, from the ground upwards. It needs a complete and total overhaul, in my opinion. But sadly, it also seems to me that those in power simply don't care enough.